lots of miles, plenty some tears, but lots of smiles. Time to stretch my mind and my legs, and now we in NYC. That's what I said. Road trip on a road trip nation. Road trip on a road trip nation. Across the nation.
Chris and I have known each other for a long time. We are in a group together called Freestyle Love Supreme, which is an improvised rap show. We've done it live for quite a while, and now we're making a television version of it for a new network called Pivot. And where was I when I was early 20s? Almost exactly where you guys are, in New York City, on a couch, talking to people. And we started up a production company called Backhouse Productions, and all we did was work on new plays. And that's how I was lucky enough to meet Chris. I started up Backhouse, and we got our show, and we got a space. It was an empty basement in the bottom of a bookshop on 40th Street, and we turned it into a black box theater. So yeah, so that was one thing. Meeting a lot of people, asking a lot of questions, earning very little money, and trying to start something with my friends.
Well, I mean, you touched on it. This is the most expensive city in the country, I think, you know, for anyone to pursue what they're doing, just living. There are many times where I can remember just having a can of beans to eat, you know, for dinner. Like, you know, just having called my mother for that $20 wire transfer just way too many times. But when I met these guys and I saw what they had put together and what they were building, it was about being in the room with these guys and the energy. It was the first experience I'd had with someone who was running a theater company. So not only was he putting on a button-down shirt and, you know, knowing everybody's name in a room at a function, but he was also emptying the trash cans and making copies. Like, because it was just sort of an all-hands-on-deck kind of thing, and it made me want to be a part of that community.
It's gonna be hard. Your heart's gonna get broken.
Yeah, a lot.
Embrace it.
Yep.
Seriously, there's nothing more creative than a broken heart.
Don't wallow in it, but embrace it. Accept it for what it is.
Absolutely, because it tests your limits. If you didn't know that you were able to survive through something like that, which you are, all of you are completely capable of having your heart broken, of not having a job, of feeling like a failure, and overcoming that and being the success that I think maybe you want to be. Yeah. We've done all kinds of projects together as well. Chris was the first person we ever cast in a musical that my company worked on for a long time called In the Heights. People started to get really excited about it. They saw that it had a unique voice, they saw that it was a pretty interesting concept, and that it was speaking in a language that was ubiquitous but not on Broadway. It was a rap musical. There's just not that many of them out there. It was one of those things, people started being like, you've got to see this, and they started telling each other, and before long we had sold out shows. And In the Heights went to Broadway and won the Tony Award for Best Musical in 2008, amongst a couple of other Tony Awards. Boring.
4.
Yeah. So the hardships make the wonderful times that much more wonderful, but they also turn you into who you are. It's not when you are at the top of the world that defines who you are. It's when you're at the bottom that defines who you are, I really believe.
I wonder what your mindset was in this process. Was it like fake it till you make it, like, oh, we got this is happening, we're amazing, or was it kind of like, I am scared this whole time and how is this even happening?
You know, I always say that the difference between fear and excitement is just a very, very small idea. It's a synapse. The ability to just take that step and go is the decision that you make every time you open your mouth, at least especially in one of our shows, because you really don't know what's coming out. You hear that beat, that's the wind coming through the window of the door of the plane. You hear that music come and then you just go.
But I think the thing that I'm always a proponent of is I believe that everyone can freestyle rap. I think that freestyle rapping is just an permission that you give to yourself. And once you sort of tap into it, it's amazing, it's really fun. I do a lot of arts education outreach programs. For me, the most important part of this learning environment has to do with the environment part. So how do we put these kids in rooms together where they feel that they are equal and that they have a voice? So how do we do that? We get into a space where there's no chairs and we circle up. And so once we start creating this environment where people are equal, we then create the support around it too. So whatever somebody puts out there, great. Yes, support it.
We push each other to be smarter and faster and sharper and in a lot of ways more ridiculous than the last time, you know, like It's like that idea that iron sharpens iron, like that you leave better than when you walked in.
There's so many points of view. There's no right answer in the arts. How magical is that? There's no one thing that says, yes, to get to this performance, you must follow these exact steps. It just doesn't exist. So that creates a sense of equilibrium immediately. And we learn from each other. And I just think that that's such a fruitful way to have the learning environment be peaked for creativity. You know, I think at the end of the day, fear holds us back a lot. But the truth of the matter is, it's never that bad. Okay, you get your feelings hurt, or you're heartbroken, or you look foolish in front of somebody. Whatever it might be, we're all faking it until we make it. You know, like, I think embrace that sort of thing where it says, oh gosh, I'm not supposed to. When you feel that, that's when you should do it.